What is popping, everybody? Yeah, you've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title. You're not reading this wrong. I hope I'm not overloading you guys too much on this weekend, but I would first of all, I want to give a huge shout out for the people that supported my last video when it comes to this debunk video about the Hulk vs. Doomsday. That video's getting a lot of good feedback, a lot of love, a lot of views, a lot of comments, a lot of chatter going on, and something I like. I made this video as an extras video to add on to that video. This is like a work on top of that video type of video. It's some stuff that I really didn't get to explain, or I kind of forgot to explain in my last video. So I thought this would be the perfect time to really clear the air on some things. Like a few things I want to get out the air. Like I want to get out the air of the question can Doomsday actually be killed by any means, especially when it comes to the topic of brute force, because that's what the Hulk has to offer. Can the Hulk actually kill Doomsday? And the subject of immortality in general. Like, is anybody truly immortal in fiction? You know, people try to seem like some stuff is just black and white, and that's what I kind of want to go over today. As you already know, yeah, I know it's a no old death battle. I know this death battle came out ages ago. Just want to clear the air. Like I said in my other video, I am not here to convince you on thinking Doomsday is weaker than Hulk, or if you believe Doomsday beats Hulk no matter what, and you just want to be hard-headed and not listen to reason, that's fine too. I'm not here to convince you of that. I just want to give you guys some perspective and just get us some conversation and give you something to think about as well. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to change your opinion, but it's just something to think about. Like, we already know that Death Battle's old, and it's in the Death Battle, before the Death Battle came out, the Immortal Hulk saga didn't come out, so there was no extra lore about the Hulk, so they kind of used science to try to say, yeah, Doomsday would beat him because he can overload his healing factor, which I debunked in my last video. But then they added lore about the Hulk being able to pretty much resurrect and kind of making him truly immortal. Like, when the Hulk evidently, quote unquote, dies, he goes to this, the one beneath place area with the one below all area, that realm, and he can choose to go through the door and resurrect himself yet again if he chooses to. Like, he literally just have self-resurrection as long as evidently the one below all exists, right? Yeah, I know, right? But one above all, one below all. Don't ask. Can Doomsday truly be killed with brute force? I have a theory. Like I said, this is just a theory. It could be that this is totally possible that DC just wants to make Doomsday completely immortal no matter what, which is terrible writing in my opinion, but that's their choice. Like, if they want to make him just completely immortal no matter who punches him, if the presence punches him with brute force, with everything he got, then I guess Doomsday can't die from the presence. You know what I'm saying? People like that. I guess if the Spectre said, I'm not going to reality warp you out of existence, and I want to kill you with raw punches, the Spectre, I'm just going to punch Doomsday with everything I got, even though he's the void over voids, I can't kill Doomsday, right? No matter how hard you hit him, right? Like, with that being said, that's totally possible if DC wants to write him like that. But can you honestly say, when it comes to fiction, anything is set in stone? Yes, there's plenty of characters that are called quote unquote immortal, like characters like Lobo, characters like Doomsday, characters like the Hulk recently. But is anybody actually immortal? Remember when Deadpool was blessed with life because Thanos enchanted him? Because they made him like stay alive so he can't die like Deadpool. Like, does that mean he can't be beaten by nobody? You know what I'm saying? Like, just because, like, say if the Hulk didn't have this Green Door incident, say if somebody like Deadpool was enchanted with life, right, and he cannot die no matter what, right, even though he's like not even physically on the level of Spider-Man level characters, right? So, like, you got to remember, this is death battle rules. Like, this is Screw Attack's rules. Like, a character has to die in that death battle to win or lose a fight, right? That doesn't mean a character can be beat just because they're immortal. Like, say, oh, Deadpool's immortal, so that means the Thing, a character like a powerhouse like the Thing, can't beat Deadpool because he's not immortal and Deadpool is. You see what I'm saying? Like, he can still beat Deadpool. Like, you know, he might not be able to kill him, but he can still beat him. You see what I'm saying? That's one thing. Like, people in the comment section, I've noticed a lot, they always want to bring up, oh, he can't kill him, he can't kill him. What about other ways of beating him? Like, this isn't Screw Attack's rules, fine, I give you that. Like, if the Thing and the Deadpool would have a death battle on Screw Attack, they would just be fighting for eternity because, you know, Deadpool at that certain point was blessed with life to the point where he can die. But does that mean Deadpool is stronger, faster, and etc. than the Thing? I have a full video about the Thing, by the way, in case you want to see how strong the Thing is. You see what I'm saying? But enough of that. Same with characters like Wolverine. I mean, he's one of the hardest people to kill, but what, does that make him like unbeatable because he can't be quote unquote killed? Or, I mean, come on, like, you know what I mean? With all of that stuff being said, I do believe when it comes to Doomsday's immortality, since he's been beat up in every way you can think of, I do believe he's extremely hard to kill with raw force alone. But I just hear me out. Just hear me out. I think there is a way for him to die from blunt force. You see what I'm saying? Nothing is black and white in fiction. Nothing is black and white. Nothing is black and white. No matter what you say, there's always an exception to the rule. Always an exception to the rule. Okay. With that being said, Death Battle used the idea of Superman rematching Doomsday when he was more powered up than ever before. Couldn't kill Doomsday the same way because he was powered up. So their logic was, okay, if Superman powered up can't beat Doomsday with the brute force the second time, then no matter, the Hulk can't do that either. Well, that's kind of unfair to say because we don't really know like how powered up Superman was when he was amped. We don't really have a number on how powered up Superman was when he fought Doomsday in their rematch. So is it really fair to say that just because Superman powered up at that moment couldn't do it, then the Hulk couldn't do it? I mean, that's kind of like no limits fallacy. If you don't know what the no limits fallacy is, this is like no limit fallacy, like how One Punch Man fans use of the fact that just because One Punch Man can one punch Planet Busters in his verse, or one punch beings that are star level, that means he one punches everybody in Marvel or DC. That's the no limits fallacy. Like just because you can do something unlimited in your verse doesn't necessarily mean you can do it in every other verse, or even in his verse, somebody in his verse might even be able to beat him in higher dimensional beings or something. That's kind of the thing with Doomsday. Like, have we actually seen Doomsday actually try to get punched out, like with raw force by, like, some of the God tiers? Like, have we ever seen, like, will we ever see a character like the Presence ever try like to punch Doomsday with just a raw physical punch to try to see if he can kill him? For all we know, the Presence can hit him so hard he can just like literally like a punch can cause reality warping to his body to the point where he dies, Or Mixie, characters like a literal multiversal being, a fifth dimensional imp type being, just says, oh, I'm just going to put all my reality warping abilities into my strength, and I'm just going to punch you with every reality warping power, physical strength I converted into God to see if I can kill Doomsday. You don't think he can actually kill Doomsday with his? You see, that's what I mean by no limits fallacy. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always an exception. No, I'm not saying the Hulk is up there with somebody like Mixie. I'm just giving you an example of like saying Doomsday is just black and white, can't be killed no matter what with blunt force. It's a little ignorant considering how fiction works. Like, if I'm being honest, like fiction always seems to have somebody as an exception. Like the Hulk, for example. I'm not going to be biased for the Hulk. The Hulk is known to be immortal now. That doesn't mean there isn't an exception to it. I mean, of course, there might be somebody out there, if like the Living Tribunal said, oh, I don't give a crap if you're immortal or you can resurrect yourself with the Green Door. I'm just going to punch you with everything I got so hard to the point where literally your whole realm like collapses and you can't even go through the green. You see what I'm saying? Like he just said, it's always an exception to the rule. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, I do believe there's a good possibility. Like I said, it's still a theory because Doomsday and Hulk are in two different universes. It's just a theory and add on to the other video. Can Doomsday actually get killed by Hulk? I would say it's a possibility. Slim chance. Like I said, it's a possibility that DC could be absolute, where nobody, not even the Presence or Spectre, if they punched him with their physical strength to the point they couldn't kill him. I think that's, it's possible. It's fiction, even though that doesn't really make sense to me. But I'm not writing it. But I'm saying, with the history of how fiction works, with the Hulk's power set of the Hulk, you're always getting stronger. Has limitless potential. It's already been shown that he can have a multiplier of thousands when he's like in the mindless state, be able to fight a Skyfather like Onslaught, like I've shown in previous videos about the Hulk in my other videos in my page. Check those out. And how he's pretty much was able to fight an amped Beast and amped Wendigos, who are mini bosses normally, but was amped thousands of fold, and the Hulk was still able to fight both of them when it was multiplied times 1,000. So the Hulk could possibly hit Doomsday hard enough more than Doomsday's ever felt. You're probably thinking, no, because Superman already was amped and he couldn't do that. Well, how about, let me give you an example right quick. Okay. You know how martial arts fighters or fighters in general want to toughen their bones, so they punch stuff like bricks so they can so their bones can literally heal stronger than it was before. Then they do it again and the bones break and it heals again. So eventually their bones just keep getting harder and harder and harder. But like, does it ever get to the point where your bones are indestructible? That's a little black and white. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, a human, like, I don't care how long a human's been doing it. Say if a human was able to live to 5,000, which we can't, of course, obviously. But like, say if a normal human was able to live to 5,000 and they did this throughout their whole 5,000 year lifespan, will their fist ever get to the point where they're completely immune to breaking? There's always an exception to the rule. There'll be something that that's always something that can hit them harder to the point where their hands will eventually break. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what I think it is with Doomsday. Yeah, sure. Doomsdays might be magnified to a very high degree. Like, for example, I'm just about to start throwing out random numbers right here, just to give you a warning. I'm gonna throw out random numbers. These are not set in stone numbers. Say if Doomsday dies from what? From the first time, from solar system busting attacks the first time, right? So, okay, so the next time he resurrects, he's gonna be way above solar system busting durability wise and killing him wise, right? So, like, say if somebody comes along that's what? 2 times solar busting and they try to kill Doomsday, they still can't kill him for something. Oh, he's immune to it because, okay, he died from the solar system level attack the first time, and the second time somebody stronger than him that was 2 times stronger than the solar system busting attack last time tries to kill him and he can't kill him. He's 2 times stronger. Oh, he's immune to physical attacks completely. He can't be killed no matter what. Like, okay, that's a little black and white. I mean, just because, okay, somebody is quite a bit stronger than the previous thing that kills you doesn't mean you're completely immune to it. I mean, one could say you're resistant to death from that. Like, just because you're immune to dying from solar system level attacks the first time and the second time somebody comes is a little bit stronger and you're still immune to it, then you're just completely immune to all forms of physical damage when it comes to dying from it. That's a little black and white. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be immune to 2 times, but would you be immune to billions of times solar system busting? Like, that's kind of a stretch. Like, oh, he's immune to solar system busting attacks the first time and he took attacks and couldn't die from multi-solar system busting attacks next time. Does that mean he's immune to billions of times solar system attacks? You see what I'm saying? That's a bit of a stretch. Like, I'm saying, like, he's built up resistance to the first time he died quite a bit to where a little bit more force wouldn't be enough to cut it. But if an astronomical amount of force comes in to try to kill you the next round, I think it's totally possible for you to die that way. You know what I'm saying? That could be just me reaching. They could be set in stone. Doomsday's immortality could be absolute, but I find it hard to believe that in fiction based on the history of fiction. Do you guys understand what I'm actually trying to say? Do you guys get it? Like, it's a little fiction. You cannot think of fiction as black and white, as, oh, nothing is an exception to the rule. The Hulk can't die. Juggernaut can't die because of this, because of that. There's always an exception to it. If a character like Lucifer Morningstar can die, if a character like the Presence can die, and they're higher dimensional beings, if a character like Mixus Pitalit can die, and they're higher dimensional beings, I don't see how a 3-dimensional being can be absolutely immortal no matter what. Yeah, they can be immortal by the title namesake. Of course, there's plenty of immortal characters, but are they absolutely immortal no matter what? I mean, the only character I can actually think of that's absolutely immortal, the one above all, maybe? And even then, it's like, is he? I mean, it's always an exception to the rule. You see what I'm saying? That's what I want to say. So I think it's totally possible for Doomsday to die, but it could be absolute. But I do not think it's absolute. I'm just saying, like, let me go the long route. Say if Doomsday really is immune to, like, solar system busting attacks by the billions. Okay, say if he dies from the solar system busting attacks, so he's immune to billions of times solar system busting. But does that mean he's immune to trillions of times solar system busting just because he's immune to billions of times? You see, I can just keep going with these examples. Like, nothing is absolute. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean. I think it's totally possible that Hulk can hit harder than Doomsday has ever felt. I think it's possible. You're probably thinking, what about characters like Imperiex Prime, who's an abstract being that killed Doomsday before? So if this guy that's a universal plus level being, killed Doomsday, then how can Hulk ever have a chance of killing Doomsday if this guy killed him? Well, that's simple. Say Imperiex is a higher level being, right? So say Imperiex says, okay, I'm going to kill Doomsday, but I'm going to use this certain amount of force to kill Doomsday this round. Okay. So say if Doomsday comes back from that, he's like, okay, I'm going to do it again. Oh, no, that didn't work. Okay, let me blast you with more force than that. Oh, that still didn't work. Okay, let me blast you a little bit more force. Oh, that still don't work. Okay, let me just blast you with like gazillions of times more force than I did last time. And that could work. That's what I mean by that. Like, no, I'm not saying the Hulk is comparable to Imperiex Prime. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just giving you an idea of how that works. Like, you cannot be so absolute. It's a total possibility. I mean, when you got characters that are literally omnipotent, like the Beyonder stating that the Hulk has limitless strength, and it's not really much more I could say. I mean, this is coming from a being that debatably has absolute immortality to the point where nobody in the omniverse or omniverses in the different realms of fiction can even kill. I mean, he said this about Hulk. So, I mean, will the Hulk get mad enough to kill Doomsday in a fight? I don't know. Will he ever get that mad enough? Can he get that mad enough to hit harder than Doomsday can ever feel, or hit hard enough to the point where Doomsday can actually be killed? Yes, it's definitely possible. But it's one of those things where the circumstances has to arise. It might take a lot of time for the Hulk to get to that rage to where he can actually kill Doomsday with raw punches, since he's built up so much resistance to it. But that could be just me. But I think it's a total possibility. Did I clear the air on this things, guys? Did I just make you a little bit more confused? Do you think it's totally possible for the Hulk to actually be able to kill Doomsday? At the very least, we can all agree that the Hulk can KO Doomsday, right? We can all agree on that, right? So for the sake of argument, say if we all agreed that he has absolute immortality no matter what, not even cared his life to be under, if he punched him with everything he has, can't kill Doomsday. If we just assume he has absolute immortality, okay, let's just assume that, then we can all agree that the Hulk can at least KO him, right? We can at least agree on that, right? At least KO him or defeat him in a battle. Everything doesn't have to be death for defeat. Me personally, I go for death or defeat. Like, I'm a big fan of, you KO somebody, you won the fight. If you defeat somebody, you won the fight. I'm not a big fan of battlefield removal wins or nothing like that. Cheap wins. Wins that Goku or Vegeta wouldn't count as wins, I don't count those as wins. Like a win like, oh, the battle got interrupted, so I won because I landed more hits. People saying Hulk can throw Ragnarok. Just because the referee got scared, or just because the Grandmaster got scared the Hulk wouldn't win the fight, then that means the Hulk lost the fight. Bull crap. Just because he didn't know the Hulk's limits doesn't mean he's would have lost. But that's none of my business. I don't go for wins like that. The point is, I go for wins like straight concrete wins, non-refutable wins. Beat down, KO'd, dead, or beat to the point where you can't move, you're paralyzed. Or you're awake, you're physically, you're awake and you just cannot move. Like, you're so hurt you can't move, but you're awake. Like, I count those type of things wins. You're beat down to the point where you're bleeding out blood and you can't even focus on the fight. That's the type of stuff I count wins. I count real wins, non-refutable wins. Not those the fight got interrupted win, so I guess I won type win. No, that's cheap and that's weak. No, I've never been a fan of those type of wins. Never. And if you're new to my channel, you're gonna get to know that. And I count like, yeah, that's how I think. That's my mind process. But like I said, if you agree that Doomsday wins, that's totally fine. If you agree Hulk wins, but just don't be so black and white in the comment section. He can't be killed from no force, no blunt force ever. So I guess he just win. I guess Doomsday just can't be killed by nobody in fiction then, right? Right? Since he can't be killed by nobody in fiction or blunt force. Not even angels like Lucifer Morningstar or Michael DeMorgis can beat him with blunt force. Not even them. Right? Not even Spectre. Right? Not even the Presence. Not even the Living Tribunal. With blunt force. They can't use their fist and kill Doomsday. Those top high dimensional beings. True eternity, multi-eternity. None of these beings can kill Doomsday with their punches. Not even abstract beings like Infinity or Oblivion can kill Doomsday with their punches evidently. Because he's just immune to all forms of physical punching, right? Just absolute. He could be, but I'm just saying, guys. Do you really think that? Do you really think none of the other beings, not even counting Hulk, say if the Hulk can't do it, like just say, just for argument, Hulk can't do it, right? Because he's not. You telling me 5-dimensional, 6-dimensional, 11th-dimensional beings that literally stand on top of time and don't even need time to function can't use their punches to kill Doomsday? Are you seriously telling me that they can't do that? Like, that's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? But that could just be me. I enjoy making this video. I hope you guys cleared this up. I hope you guys are enjoying my debunks. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me? What do you don't agree with? What do you have problems with? What are you confused about? Did I confuse you in this video? Make sure you check out my other video before this one so I can piggyback off of it if this one doesn't make sense to you. You look at the other debunks on that one. But like I said, I'm not trying to change your opinion. Just something for you to think about. Absolute nature needs to be gone from fiction. That makes me cringe. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Check out them playlists on my channel. You will not regret it. I guarantee if you're not subscribed and you check out those playlists, you more than likely will subscribe. You know what I'm saying? That's how confident I am on my channel. Like, I put a lot of hard work in my channel and I listen to y'all feedback. I comment as much as I can. And I'm very, very busy and I still make the time to comment. Make sure you post the comments down below. Affiliate links and etc. in the description. All that good stuff. The whole 9 yards. I'll see you guys next time. But if you're confused, I'm more than willing to answer your questions if you're still confused after all this explaining. But what do you guys think? Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think.